Diana Math Resources, and we're looking at the CSEC Math Past Paper 2019, Paper 1, questions 31 to 60. Question 31. Given that 1 millimeter equals 1 over 1,000 meters, 2,500 millimeters in meters is, so that is saying 1 millimeter is equals to 1 over 1,000 meters. So 2,500 would equals to 2,500 times 1 over 1,000, and that is equals to 25 over 1,000. I'm going to cross off these two zeros. So 10 into 25, that's 2.5. So the answer is B. 32. The area of AOB is, so we are told here that the angle O is 60 degrees and OA is R units long. We know that's radius. So what is the area of AOB? So it is area is equals to theta over 360 times pi r squared. So we know the entire area of a circle is pi r squared, but we're looking at a portion of the circle, theta, which is 60. So that'll be 60 degrees over the full circle, 360 times pi r squared. We're gonna cancel here. 60 into 60 is 1, 60 into 360 is 6. So that would be A. 33, the volume in centimeters cube of a cube of edge 3 centimeters. So we know the volume is equals to L to the third power. So V is equals to 3 to the third power. V is 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27 centimeters cube. So that would be C. The perimeter of a square is 48 centimeters. What is the area in centimeters squared? So the perimeter 4L equals to 48. Because remember, we will multiply we will not multiply, so add up 4 sides, which is the same thing as multiplying one side by 4. So L would equals to 48 over 4, which is 12. So that means that here, we just get the eraser, is 12, 12, 12, and 12. So the area is a square, so it's L squared. So it is 12 times 12, which is 144 centimeters squared. The answer is D. 35, which of the following figures not drawn to scale has an area equals to half, open brackets, 5 plus 4, close brackets, times 2 square units. So remember that this is a trapezium, and the area of a trapezium is equals to a half A plus B times the height. So let's see which of these would match. 5 and 4, and the height being 2. So that would be D. Question 36. The area of a rectangle is 53.6 centimeters squared. If the length is multiplied by 4 and the width is half, the area would then be. So we know that the area of a rectangle is area of rectangle is length times width. So they're saying that length times width is 53.6 centimeters squared. So if we multiply the length by 4L, times, and we find half, of W, or it says the width is half, so that's W over 2. What will be the area? So we can break this down, and we're going to get 2LW. Now when we look above, we see that we had LW, L times W equals 53.6. So that's really multiplying it twice. So we multiply this here now by 2. And whatever we do to one side of the equation, we have to do it to the other side. So that means we're going to get twice, or we're multiplying 53.6 by 2. So that's barely 100 and something. So we don't have to do any more calculation. It's C. But if you put it into your calculator, because you remember paper 1, you're not allowed to use a calculator, you would get 107.2. But you knowing 53.6 twice times 2, it's going to be in the range. And the only closest value in the range of that is 107.2. 37, it says, if the length of a minor arc PQ is 8 centimeters, what is the length of the circumference of the circle? So what we are saying is that PQ is, let me just change to the pencil, is 8 centimeter, which is from here to here. And in the previous question, we learned that 60 degrees is 1/6 of the circle of the full 360 degrees. So if 1/6 is equals to 8 centimeters, that means the full 6, the entire circle, because remember it's part of a circle. So there are 6, well, there'll be 6 1/6 in this circle. So we're multiplying 6 by, so 6 over 6 will be 8 times 6, which is 48 centimeters. C. 38, the area of a triangle is 30 centimeters squared, and its base is 10 centimeters. What is the height in centimeters of the triangle? So let's have a visual of this question. So here is our triangle. Our base is 10 centimeters, and we don't know the height. But the area is 30 centimeters square. So the formula, the area of this triangle is half base times height, and the answer is 30 centimeters squared. So we know the base times 10 times the height is 30 centimeters squared. So we can cancel here, and we're going to end up with 5h equals 30 centimeters squared. So we're going to divide 30 by 5, which is going to give us 6. So the answer is A. So the height is 6 centimeters. What was the modal age? So it says item 39 refers to the following histogram, which shows the number of children aged 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 who took part in a survey. So modal or mode, most frequent, and that would be this. So the answer is 7. What was the modal age? 7. That has the highest bar on this histogram. Question 40, the median mark scored by the 200 students is. So it said 40 to 42 refers to the following diagram, which shows the cumulative frequency curve based on the marks of 200 students who took a driving test. So that is going to be half of n, and that's half of the sample size, 200, and that is 100. So we're going to fill in here first. So 0 to 40, that means here is 20. 40 to 60, 40 to 80, that's 120. In the middle here is going to be 60. So if we want to get 100, 80 and 120 is 200, so 100 is here. So we're going to draw a line, and then we're going to take that line and come down on the x-axis. So here is 10, it's going to be 15, 25, 35. So we're getting 35, 36, 37, about 37 and a half, 38. Okay, so the only value that match here is not C nor D nor A, so the answer is B. What is the interquartile range of the marks scored by the 200 students? And we're using the same cumulative frequency curve. So the interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1. And Q3 is 3 over 4. So we're going to find 3 over 4 of 200. Q1 is a quarter. We find a quarter of 200. That is 50. And this is 150. So whatever values we get, we're going to place them here. So let's do Q1 first. So here it's 0. Again, it will be 20. 120, that will be 60. So between 40 and 50 will be 60. Between 40 and 60, we'll get 50. We have our line here. And then we're going to come down, and we read that to be 31. Okay, now Q3 is 150. So 80 and 120 is 200, that's 100. 120 and 160 is 280. Half of that is 140. So that means our 150 is going to be here in the middle. We're going to draw our line, come down, and read what we see here. Notice that here is 45. So 40, 41, 42, 43. So we read 43. 31 from 43 is 12. So the closest possible answer to that is A. (44) refers to the following two-way table which shows the mode of transportation to school on a particular day for a group of 200 students. A male student is picked at random from the group. So males in the table totals 108. What's the probability that he does not walk to school on that day? So that means if he doesn't walk, 28 of them walk, they would either catch a taxi or a bus. So it is the probability that a male does not walk. So the total is 108. 30 catches the bus and 50. So that is 80 over 108. We could cancel that down. 2, that's 40 over 54. It doesn't match any answers here. So let's go again. That's 20. 2 into 40 is 20. 2 into 54. 2 into 5 is 2. Remainder 1 over 27. So that is C. 45. Which of the following represents the graph of a function? So now we know a function, a straight line is a function. So this forms a straight line. And we connect the points. So the answer is A. We don't have to look any further. Here we have question 46. And it says, if f of x is equals to 2x squared minus 1, then f of negative 3 is equals to. Okay, so f of negative 3 is equals to, wherever you see x, you're going to substitute it with negative 3. So 2 by negative 3 times negative 3. That's what the square means, is second power. So 2 by negative 3 times negative 3 is 9, positive 9. So we're going to get 18 minus 1, which is equals to 17. So the answer is C. 47, it says, 47 refers to the following graph of a straight line. The straight line AB cuts the y-axis at. So now we need to know that this is the y-axis. This line here. So it cuts it here, and that is 0 negative 2. So the answer is D. The equation of the line which passes through the point 0.5 and has a gradient of 4 is, so remember the equation of the line, so we have y equals mx plus c. So we know our coordinates 0, 5, and m is 4. So we're going to say this is x and this is y. So 5 equals 4 by 0 plus c. So we're going to find the y-intercept first, which is c. So 5, we're going to get 0 there, 0 plus c. So 5 is equals to c. Therefore, y is equals to 4x plus 5. So the answer is C. Question 49. The range of f of x is x to the third power for the domain -2, -1, 0, 1, 2 is, so you want to know the range. So the domain is, using the arrow diagram, is -2, -1, 0, 1, and we want to know the range, which are the y values. So we're going to substitute for x to the third. When f of x is -2, we're going to get -2 times -2 times -2, third power. So here it's going to give us a +4 times a -2, which is going to give me a -8. So that's my first value. Might not have to do all. So for sure that eliminates A, eliminates C, and B. So our answer is D. We don't have to go any further, but let's just check. So f of -1, x to the third, we're going to get -1 times -1 times -1. So these first two negatives will give us a +1 times -1. I'm going to get -1. So that goes to that, and that goes to that. So that's our next value. So it's D. Question 50. The value of x for which y is equals to 4x minus x to the second power intersects y equals 0 are. So y equals 0 is where the graph cuts the x-axis. And if you look at the graph, it cuts it here, and that's 0, and here, which is 4. So 0, 4, A. 51, the coordinates of the turning point of y equals 4x minus x squared are. And remember, that will be the maximum point, which is this point here. And we have 2, and we're going across 4. So the answer is D, 2, 4. 52. Which of the following pairs of lines is perpendicular? Now the rule for two lines to be perpendicular is the gradient of one line times the gradient, let's say m1, times the gradient of a second line is equals to -1. So that's the rule. Okay, so when we look at A, I could see that the gradient here is, remember, and also the gradient of the equation of a line is y equals to mx plus c. So for sure, I know it can't be B. This is more parallel lines because the gradients are the same. It's 2. Okay. I'm looking here and I see y is equals to m is -4. And if we rearrange this, we're going to get y is equals to, we have to divide each equation here by 4 plus 1/4. So I'm going to get the next line is 1/4. Remember the rule? So if I multiply -4 by 1 over 4, I'm going to cancel here. I'm going to get -1, -1. I know the answer is C. I don't have to go any further. Check anything else. The answer is C. Okay, 53 refers to the following diagram of a transformation. Now you're looking at these two triangles. They're actually looking at each other on opposite sides. There has to be something in the middle. So once you see that, you know that it has to be a reflection. There's a mirror line in here. Okay, so it's a reflection, D. 54 refers to the following diagram of an isosceles triangle. So in the triangle, the value of x is, so the rule is isosceles triangle. That means that these two angles are the same. So that means here's 30 and here's 30. So the total angle, when you have a triangle, total angles add up to 180. So the total is 180 degrees. So we have x would equals to then 180 minus 30 plus 30 degrees. So that is 180 minus 60. 60 from 180 is 201. So x is equals to C. Question 55 refers to the following transversal diagram in which the lines AB and CD are parallel. Which of the following best describes the relation between x and y? So first of all, we notice a z angle here. And the rule for z angles is these two angles here equal. So the answer is B. 56 refers to the following pair of similar triangles, ABC and MNO. The length on MO in centimeters is, so if we look at AB, we get 6 centimeters, and if we look at MN, we get 3. So 6 AB is twice the length of MN. So if AC, which goes with MO, similar triangles, is 7 centimeters, that means that will be half of 7. Half of 7. Let me write that 7 better. And that is 3.5. So the answer is C. 57. The image of a point P, 1, 2 on the translation is P prime, -5, -4. What is the translation vector? So let's set up the formula. This is the object, and this is the image, and you want to find the translation. So it is P plus the translation equals to P prime. So P is 1, 2, plus the translation, we don't know what it is, so let's leave it as xy, and P prime is -5, -4. So what is xy? What we're going to do is to leave -5, -4, just like an equation, and we're going to move 1, 2, so we're going to subtract it over on the other side. So xy would be -5 minus 1, -4 minus 2. So xy is -6, -6. So the translation is -6, -6a. 58, we have OA, A prime, OB, B prime, and OC, C prime are straight lines. Triangle ABC is mapped onto A prime, B prime, C prime by an enlargement with center O. What is the scale factor of the enlargement? Okay, so AC, we can see it's 1, 2, and that was mapped, enlarged with center O. So AC is mapped onto A prime, B prime, C prime over A prime, C prime. So one, two, three, four. So that's 4, that's 2. So that's 2. So notice the object and the enlargement is in front. So that is going to be C, positive 2. The scale factor would be 2, positive 2. 59. A plane is flying in a direction of 045 degrees and changes course in a clockwise direction to 135 degrees. The angle through which the plane turns is, so let's have a diagram. So we know we have our north, so we know here, let's say north, this is 90 degrees, so in between 0, 4, 5. And he moves to 135, so that's about a little bit down here, 135. So the angle through which the plane turns is, we have to subtract 45 from 135, which is 0. 4 from 13 is 9. So he turned 90 degrees. Question 60 refers to the following diagram not drawn to scale, which shows that the angle of depression of a point X from Z is 30 degrees. If X is 10 meters from Y, as we can see here, the height YZ in meters is, so for sure, we can see our Z angle here. So that means that here is also 30 degrees. We have a right angle triangle. We're asked to find the length of YZ. So we can label our triangle. So I'm going to use a different color. So that means here is the hypotenuse opposite the right angle. This is the angle 30 degrees. So here is opposite and here is adjacent. So we want to find here. This is the side that we want to find. Okay, opposite. And we're going to use what was given, the adjacent. So opposite and adjacent, that represents, remember Usher quote? Tan. So this is sine theta is opposite over hypotenuse. And this is cos theta is adjacent over hypotenuse. And this is tan theta is opposite over adjacent. So we're using tan. So it'll be tan 30 degrees is equals to, our opposite is YZ over 10. Cross multiply, or we can say we're multiplying by 10 on both sides. So we get tan 30 degrees would give us the value for YZ. So the answer is A. From Tatiana Math Resources, we looked at the CSEC Math Past Paper 2019, Paper 1, questions 31 to 60. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Thank you so much for watching my video. Stay tuned for more.